Hey, there was a bass guitar in my basement.
I told you, Token. All right, buddies, give me a beat. Okay, nice, very nice. All right, Token, give me a smooth bass line.
I don't know how to play bass.
Token, how many times do we have to go through this? You're black, you can play bass.
I'm getting sick of your stereotypes.
Be as sick as you want, just give me a goddamn bass line.
God damn it.
Alright, 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 alright. Alright, 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 alright. I never listen.
Well, how about that? We made it to Friday. Show 222. In our home away from home. Dan, when I talked to him this morning, had just driven through Illinois as he is driving his daughter back to college. He said they had like 12 hours in the car yesterday and another 12 today, and then they still wouldn't be there. But here in his place, for the second straight day, is Dan Balls Balis.
Hello. That's all I could think about when you were explaining you're on a Christian rock podcast.
Have you ever seen that episode, Christian Rock Hard? South Park episode?
No, I haven't.
Dude.
It's a classic.
They just take the most famous love songs, and instead of like Baby or Sweetie, they write Jesus.
And they become like a global sensation.
That's the strategy. That was the strategy when I was playing music in high school, because we had a practice space that one of the guys in my high school band, his parents let us use it under the condition that we only played music that celebrated Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
So we would take secular songs and just change the lyrics to them and make them praise and worship songs. So if they wanted to come in and sit in on a jam, we had, something that would appease them so we could keep practicing at their spot. But the second they leave and we're left to our own devices, it's all about
Highway to Heaven.
Yeah. It was so soul sucking, but yeah, we had to do that. By the way, it took me like 10 years to be able to do what Token did right out of the box.
Also joining us in studio today, it's our friend, comedian, fireman, Jimmy Nelson.
Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you guys again.
Hi, Jimmy.
Oh, thank you. I'll clap too.
A new father.
New father, 8 days old.
Jeez.
My wife's just a baby T-shirt cannon. This thing came out fast. You heard the thunk, little thunk sound.
You had to catch him.
Yeah.
That's wild. So I kind of can't believe you got let out of the house this quick. Have you been back at work?
No. We got paternity leave, so I'm off for 6 weeks.
City employee.
City employee, baby. Thanks for the taxes, everybody. Keep them coming.
How long was the labor?
Like 2.5, 3 hours.
What?
That's it?
Yeah, and then 8 pushes.
Damn.
Easy, baby.
I think all told, I might have hit 24 between the two of them.
Between the two?
Yeah.
Malcolm was 89.
Hours?
Yeah.
God dang.
From water breaking until birth.
I think I remember you telling that story.
Yeah, it was.
It wasn't a false alarm or anything. It was actually, jeez.
Yeah, it was.
What'd you binge?
Huh?
What'd you binge while she was...
Hospital TV, did you bring it in?
No, we tried to do all natural, like the wellness center, the birthing center,
the doula
in the tub with the doula and all that. But because she couldn't get dilated beyond 5 forever and beyond 24 hours, they have to transfer you because then you're at risk of infection. So they had to send her to Baylor, which was like a block away. So then we ended up in the hospital and they epiduraled her up and everything, and we were 2 seconds away from having to do a C-section, and she willed herself to 10 centimeters, and
C-section's gnarly.
3 pushes and little Malky was out.
Yeah, you were all about it, weren't you? You wanted to see
I was all about both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. You?
I was at the show. I was
But
holding her
you've
hand.
seen some
I've
crazy,
seen them.
yeah.
I've delivered one.
Yeah.
A stranger's, which it's much grosser. When you don't have an emotional connection to the vagina, you're just like, oh, this looks like an alien coming
Where was
at somebody. That one was just in a house.
In a house?
Yeah. Cut the cord, and it's like,
That's what you have in your marriage, is an emotional connection to your wife's vagina?
Oh, yeah. I didn't want a front row seat to it. I wanted it to be like Grandpa's house before the tornado. Like you want the fond memories to be the first ones you think of. I had a pretty good top-down view.
That's where you want to be.
Yeah.
I don't know why they asked me to do what I did, but I wasn't against it. But I've told these guys this before, but for my first one, and I kind of wanted to see the action zone. But they had, on one side of her leg, like they were trying to pin her for a 3 count. But obviously now it needs to be on both sides. So now I'm on the other side, locking her leg up and pulling it back as she pushes.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't met anybody else who was asked to do that. So
Wow,
just
what
looked at
hospital were
me.
you at?
Cooks.
Okay, we were
Fort
at
Worth.
Plano Presby, and my buddy just had one at Baylor, and he was like, his experience was different. Where he was like, "Hey, at Baylor they put you to work.
Yeah.
Like
That's
you're
exactly
getting
what it
a
felt like.
part-time check after this."
So if you get the paternity leave, I always thought this was interesting for somebody who has like a side gig. And I see on the calendar you have a show in like a week.
It's in? Yeah, it's in a week.
Yeah. You might better get to work on it. I always thought it was weird if I was like on vacation from work, but then I would like record a podcast. Or I would say that like I was out sick or something, but I can still do like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
No problems there.
No problems there. I think if I was in a courtroom defending myself, I work 24-hour shifts, so being out of the house for a couple hours to do a show, that's fine.
Man.
It's all pro bono, if I have to say that.
So I saw you recently had the 25 minutes at Hyenas. Is that available online anywhere?
No, I mostly have shorts and like a little like 5-minute crowd work thing on YouTube. So I think next year I'm going to put out like a 30-minute deal just to kind of have something out there with a calling card on it, but just shorts for now.
You like the crowd work, huh?
It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. That's my favorite part.
It's what people like,
Yeah.
especially online.
Yeah.
That's how that son of a bitch Matt Rife got famous.
Yeah.
I have a real vendetta against
Do
him.
ya?
I hope he's not a good friend of yours.
No, I've never met him.
I can't stand him.
I'm not gonna hate too much. It was annoying his special where he did like the corny like fucking women be in the kitchen, right, y'all?
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, guy, your audience is all attractive women that want to bang you.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And I don't know, though. I think, and this is no shot at you, you're a handsome man.
Thank you very much.
I think there's a cutoff for how like fit and hot a comedian can be before I want to watch him.
Yeah, I mean, look at the hate that Dane Cook got in such a short amount of time. Now, maybe he was stealing jokes back in the day or whatnot, but yeah,
he was an asshole. Like he was an egomaniac.
Yeah,
and like burned bridges and was a crazy person.
But at least late in life, he's found love.
but it's easy.
in all the right high schools.
It's easy
Do
to
you know
hate
about that, Danny?
Yeah, I
He's
know.
married to like a
Yeah.
17-year-old.
No, I think she's above age, but they met when she was
Yeah,
like
there you
6.
go.
Yeah, but I think it's easy. It's easy to hate somebody faster when they're attractive and look good in
Sure.
in tight jeans,
But
with
also
stitching
just
on
the
the
medium,
pockets.
I don't need to hear, I want to hear a little struggle. What's tough
Right.
for you? I don't want to see that you have like the V thing.
That's what I'm
in your
worried about.
abs.
Getting
Yeah.
famous and being too handsome.
Too handsome.
Just something I've just got to keep in the back pocket. I'm gonna have to address at some point in time.
You always have to keep the fireman stash, though. The fireman
yeah,
stash.
the
can't
calling
go.
card.
Yeah,
It's a wild scene, though, right?
It's beautiful.
For a dude to be like
it comes as no
delivering
surprise.
babies in a random house
Yeah,
to a stranger, and then gets up and he's like, "Oh, airline food."
What's the deal with the Jews? Right, guys?
It's like that's a really interesting dichotomy to me.
there's
Always
some
has
there's
been.
some duality with
Like,
with
If
Jimmy
you-
for
the
sure.
funny thing, I am the 4th funniest guy on my crew.
People always say that.
I'm just the one with the right,
Amount of free time.
sociopathy to try
Yeah.
to be a comedian.
Like when you meet Lawrence and he's telling you about being addicted to meth and
Mm-hmm.
all the things he had to do, I'm like, well, I could see how that could turn into a stand-up comedian.
Well, Jimmy and I were talking before you got here about the whole experience in at the fire station, and I was like, man, that's got to be just the biggest jerk off barn of dudes acting like jackasses for the 24 hours that they're there.
It's the most fun.
Yeah,
Like it's when people retire, they always say, "I don't." What do they say? I miss the clowns. I don't miss the circus.
yeah.
where it's like, you know, especially I'm at a busy place where like you're making all these runs, you're dealing with a lot of bullshit, you're, you know, doing the cool stuff like extrications and fires and things. But then like you just go back to like your little, like you go to home base and it's just 9 of your buddies and everyone's kind of dicking around. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've always kind of suspected that, but discovered this place in Dallas, and it's be a good thing for your boy too. He's old enough to appreciate it and enjoy it, especially now that he's kind of dovetailed off of garbage trucks into fire trucks.
Absolutely.
But Malcolm's mom and myself took him recently, like in the last few months, to the Dallas Firefighters Museum.
Okay.
There is one, and I had
Pretty
no
cool.
idea, and it popped up on Instagram. I'm like, what the hell? This is in my city? This is 10 minutes from or 5 minutes from my house. Let's go. So we went down there, and it's in Fair Park. It's at, I guess, one of the oldest, if not the oldest fire station in Dallas, the OG. And you walk into this place, and it's all run or hosted. The tour guides are all retired firefighters. So these guys are minimum 60 years old. And I think that maybe the guy that was walking us around was probably 70, 71. And they're showing us all these antique fire trucks, and there's a couple of them that the kids are allowed to climb on, and a lot of displays. And you get to go upstairs and see, you know, where the kind of the dispatch is and everything. It's like really old stuff, and it's great. I was probably more impressed with it than my 3.5-year-old.
It's cool seeing the old stuff too.
Yeah.
Like we still, in our terminology, we call them like your first up box, like fire boxes. And that's from when they had the pull stations. When you would call us, you'd go to a pull station at an intersection, pull the thing, it would alert. And then you would go to that intersection and then figure out where to go from there.
Mm-hmm.
I've never heard that before.
Yeah, that's how they used to dispatch.
Well, they had on a wall that was probably the size of this map was about half of what that wall is behind you. And it was a map of Dallas proper back in the early mid 70s. And each fire station was represented on this map with like 3 different light bulbs. So you could look on there and find out, depending on what color the light was at that particular fire station, to know what truck or engine or ambulance was out on a call, so that they would be able, dispatch would be able to say, okay, well, 53, that particular vehicle is not available, but the next closest one is here. There's somebody there, send it to them for particular calls, where now obviously it's instantaneous and GPS tracked. And
That's crazy, though. I never thought about how they would dispatch back in those days.
It's amazing. So anyway, I was talking to one of the guys, and he said the exact same thing, Jimmy. He was like, the thing that he missed the most was the funny elements of it, the camaraderie and the dudes, and how just it's a nonstop comedy show there in the fire station. And I told him, it's like, man, I'm like a few blocks away from Station 53 in Far East Dallas. He goes, oh my God, I worked there. I was stationed there for like 10 years in the 70s. And I told him what street I lived on, and you know, Malcolm was meaning to kind of go by there and just kind of like talk to somebody. He wants to meet a real firefighter. We go by there all the time and look at the trucks and whatnot, but we've never actually tried to interact because I don't want to, you want to invade their space. So what you need to do is show up with a gallon of Bluebell, and just introduce yourself, and you'll have the run of the place.
My wife laughed about it, of all our weird little traditions, is when you want to put in a letter for to go to a station, you it's like going to meet someone's dad for a date in 1950. Like you bring Bluebell and like a treat for them, and then you have to go in and you shake everyone's hand, and then you sit down and you just like offer them the gift, and it has to be Bluebell. And then you pretty much just get like interrogated, which they've backlined you, they've talked to everyone.
They know everything already.
They know everything about you. So literally, you're gonna sit down for 30 minutes, just get fucked with by 10 guys. And they try to find little things of what hurts your feelings to see if they can pick at you for anything. And so it's just like a contest to just like keep your cool. And then you leave, and then they tell you if you can put a letter in or not. But I was like, I gotta go meet the guys, and then like I gotta bring Bluebell.
Slick
like,
your hair back, little bow tie.
I'm getting like ready like for a date.
I looked up Dallas Firefighters Museum, and this is always interesting to me, Danny.
Yeah.
This one, I guess I could see doing it, but It has a 4.8 rating on Google reviews.
Is that out of
Oh
10?
no.
No, it's out of 5.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah,
just,
but who's leaving 2 stars?
well, there's 104 reviews, and I just think it's so funny the types of things that are not restaurants that people leave Google reviews for.
Yeah.
And the one that always really got me, the 4.7 rating for the Western Wall in Jerusalem.
What?
Like you're going to the wall, the Wailing Wall.
Wasn't what I expected.
You're just underwhelmed, and you leave like a 2-star at like the place where religion was.
Those ratings are terrible.
We had a guy leave. He tried to complain on us. I was on the ambulance. We made a run on him. And he tried to leave a complaint, but he did it on our Google page for the physical location of the fire station. I'll pull it up. Let me reviews. He gave us 2 stars. They didn't want to transport me to the hospital. It's like they was just worried about getting back to the fire station. I was in aging pain, agonizing, I guess. They rushed me out to the ambulance, did this recording, and said, "Hope you feel better."
Good luck.
2 stars.
2 star, which he didn't leave a 1 star.
No.
He's like, they got there fast.
Yeah.
You know, they checked my blood pressure and shit. You know.
I think you'd have to be dead to get the 1 star.
Yelp and Google reviews are so flawed because they end up the commentary is like they'll basically give you a 5-star review, but then say, "But the service was terrible, 1 star."
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
they
everything
don't
was
adjust
great,
it
except
properly.
for Angie, she was a bitch.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. So we end up showing up at 53. We get up one morning, drive to Albertsons, and get
The guy on the right is
2 gallons.
coming to our station on the 25th.
okay.
He's a new member of our crew.
So we
Gotta grill him.
showed up with 2 gallons of Bluebell, or 2 half gallons, one vanilla and 1 chocolate. So there's an option. And we went to Tiff's Treats and got 2 dozen cookies assorted, mostly chocolate chip, but an assortment. Showed up.
Yeah, welcome aboard.
Yeah, the guys opened the door and they're looking at this cute little kid who was dressed just like them.
Yeah.
If you'll notice in the picture, he had, because we bought him one of the T-shirts at the museum.
Yeah.
So they're just like immediately, dude, thanks for the treats, thanks for the ice cream and whatever. So they're showing him around and invite him to climb up on the fire engine, and he didn't want to do that, but he did want a picture and he wanted high fives.
Hell yeah.
So he got high fives from all of them. They talked to him, took pictures. They all had kids, and they're talking about Bluey with him and stuff. So it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was super cool. And you ask him about it now, and the 2 things he'll say, it's like, "What do you remember about going to the fire station?" He goes, "I got high fives, and 2 out of 3 of them had mustaches."
We're learning math while we're having fun.
Yeah.
You know?
But the guy that you mentioned, that you pointed to, he said, so Malcolm's 3, he goes, "Hey, man, you can apply in 15 years, come back, and we're all probably still going to be here." So it's kind of like a career thing, man.
Yeah.
You get in it and you love it. You probably do it until you're a chief, or it's a lifelong thing. It's not something I think most of you guys do for just a few years and then move on to
Nah,
working
the
at
pension,
Lowe's.
the pension doesn't make sense unless you're around for like 25 years.
Yeah.
So still you get money, so it's not like. But the days of 20 and out are gone.
Right.
Where people used to get on at 20, get out at 40, have a pension, then go be a mailman until they were 60 and have a double pension, and that's kind of it doesn't work that smoothly anymore.
How do people become like hot shots? Like the guys that go fly to like the redwood forest or something.
Okay, like the smoke jumper dudes.
Yeah.
So that's Wildland.
Okay.
And so we have a Wildland team, but it's not just as big of a deal in Texas. Obviously, like, Colorado, Washington, California would be the big one.
Okay.
But that's like their like top tier crews.
The best.
You got to be on like the
got the
Wildland
best.
teams and like kick ass and then do the helicopter stuff. And yeah, those guys are legit.
So Danny wants to weigh in on your most famous hypothetical.
Okay. Which one?
He said that he's been thinking about
Take a
it.
guess which one.
The 90-10?
Yeah.
Or the mom-dad?
Oh, I will look.
I got a new one for you, too.
Okay.
Okay, let's revisit the original, and then I want to hear the new one too, because you said I have not been thinking about this at all, other than the 10 seconds it took for me to come up with the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shot from the hip?
Oh, immediately.
Yeah.
It's like there's no question. So go ahead, tell us what the 90-10 is.
Okay, you do the first 90% of a blowjob or the last 10%.
That's all the information you get. I mean, you don't get to find out, like, is it throbbing or is it somebody you're attracted to?
You could ask follow-up questions if you wanted.
Do you have answers for them, or are you just going to wing it?
I got an answer for everything.
You have an answer for everything. Give me the 10%.
Oh, you love cum?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, give it to him.
No.
Yeah.
No. The reason.
What do you want, it, big boy?
Just,
look,
just a little baby bird over
give me
here.
give me the 10%.
I'm hungry.
Feed me, Daddy. 10% because I'm not doing all that work and not sticking around to see how it ends.
Oh, so for you, it's like a pride play.
Yes.
Like you don't want to. Okay. Yeah. Like that's interesting. Like a college football coach that got fired right whenever the team was, but it's his team.
Here we go.
Yeah.
It's a guy going to the draft, not playing in a big bowl game. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Do you know who's playing? Old Dick Sucking Danny over here.
Yeah.
Right. He's suiting up for the boys.
Gonna hold up the Cheez-It Bowl trophy.
I'm not going to let Jake just loosen the lid,
No.
and then I get all the glory for. No, I want to. If I got to do it, I want to do the whole thing.
I don't
Let's
even
go.
remember what I said because my answer changes so much on this. Like I could sell myself either way every day. I really could.
Yeah,
Just eyeballing his neighbor mowing the lawn.
because the 90%.
I could do the first 90.
There's not a determined amount of time
That's
that
a good-
90% is. The 10%, we know how long that lasts.
That's a thinking man.
Yeah.
right.
This.
That's
so you
true.
could be working for an hour on this drunk, coked up guy that's like 70 years old that can barely even,
Yep.
that's like living at 30% all the
Yep.
time. Yeah, just hey, it's just going to take forever.
Yeah.
Or you can just show up, get the glory, and leave. But yeah, you might need a
Old Johnny Rocker over here.
yeah.
The closer. Yeah,
Closer.
I think the thing if you choose 90,
Mm-hmm.
you're basically saying you have the confidence to get it to the last portion of the
Right.
Yeah.
of the situation. You're basically saying like, look, I'm going to make light work out of that.
Yeah.
90. That's not going to be a problem. For
I'm
me.
sucking dick for pink slips. All right. Let's do this.
Have you brought that to stage yet?
That has been on stage before.
And
this
how's
is
it-
the,
how's that
crowd- the
received?
crowd work thing I have on YouTube is me asking.
Asking that specific question, or do you have others?
Out I was like messing with like a younger guy on a date, and the girl he was on a date with, her parents were with them, and they were like 21, 22, so still kind of young.
Yeah.
And so it was fun fucking with them, just having them answer these. And I was like bringing the parents in, like, what would you want a man dating your daughter to answer this question as? Like, you want a man that will finish a job, or but it was
Hard worker.
fun
Man,
moment,
I
yeah.
wonder the parent thing for crowd work has got to be so weird. It's just got to be. I don't think I could ever go to a show with my mom or dad. Like a small show where crowd work might be a part
Oh,
of it.
okay.
I
So,
just don't.
Yeah,
think
you don't want to get looped into that.
It's,
No.
it's like the most fun moments when you
Yeah.
catch somebody, or especially if you don't see it, like you start talking to them, and then like the mom looks younger than her age, then you're like, okay, well, we're gonna talk about your mom being hot for a minute here, kid.
Yeah,
Buckle up.
I don't know. All right, what's the other one?
Yeah.
Would you rather have sex with your mom, or your dad has sex with you?
This is a nice twist on a classic.
You heard
Yeah.
this one?
No.
I thought I asked this one last time too.
Did you?
Yeah, you did.
Okay, sorry. We got to
This
go.
was, I love. There was a comment on y'all's YouTube of my last visit, and they were like, "I don't know what's happening to the podcast, guys. Like, this was the grossest one yet." And I was like, "Okay, sorry."
That can't be the case, but so let's define my dad having sex with me, who, by the way, joins us on the show in
Nice.
about an hour.
We'll ask him.
Yeah, let's ask him.
You should.
Exactly.
You should. I want to see what he'd say. It's anal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have any chance to try my hand at the 90-10 on him.
No. No.
It's 100% in your bum.
Yeah.
All of it. All of your dad in your butt.
It's just
In your butt. Your dad.
Yeah.
Chappy.
Yeah, but I mean, otherwise it's all of you and your mom.
Uh-huh.
they're locked. The eyes are locked. The Jeopardy music is playing.
I think I'd probably let my dad take me from behind.
That's a good son. It's a good son.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
same.
assuming,
I'm not-
I'm
yeah,
assuming
I
you
can't.
take
No.
pregnancy out of the mix, so it's not like I'm going to end up with some sort of a, knock up my mom situation. So if it's just based on which one is going to make me cry more,
Mm-hmm.
even though it involves my butt, I think I have to go with that. And I wouldn't be facing him.
Right. That's the thing.
But also, you could introduce that for your mom and say, "Hey, let's do this."
Well, I don't think you
I'm not
could.
facing you either.
I don't think you could perform if it was your mom. You're going to run into a big problem there. And if you do, like immediately, you're just
You just
instantly
find
aroused,
out.
and I'm looking at you like, "Oh God."
You just discover a kink you didn't know you had, and you're like, "How do I look myself in the mirror?"
And you're having to
now?
like apologize to your mom afterward. Like, it doesn't usually happen that quick. Like,
Sorry, Mom. I'm usually way better at this.
and your dad, on the dad side of it, he's like, I thought it was going to take a lot more to get
Yeah.
that in there.
Wow.
He's like, boy,
It was like
What have you been
like a
doing?
CD player in a car. It just took it in. What are you doing, son?
Gulp.
oh,
All right.
Blake, what do you think? He
Um,
doesn't want to.
yeah, I don't know, man.
You don't want to play?
Blake
Yeah.
seems disappointed.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let y'all handle that.
Bringing down
great.
the IQ of the show. Just a
so
point or
good.
two.
Yeah, but then again, think about this. Our dads are old. It might take them a while. You may be dealing with a lot trying to get him.
Not the way I'm throwing it
fluffed
back.
You're backing it up?
Yeah. You want some of this pussy, Dad?
Wow. Wow.
Woo.
I said you have a new one.
Yeah, I have. There's another one. So
I
Jake,
thought that was the new one.
No, I just
No.
forget things.
It's so you have to give 10 blowjobs.
It,
Is it?
I'm sensing a theme.
They're all gay.
He lives in he works with like nothing but dudes
Yes,
in a
The
firehouse.
conversation.
This is
at
what
3
they
a.m.
do.
I assumed at some point in time sack tapping would no longer be a part of my life.
Yeah,
It is
nope.
heavily in there.
yeah, yeah.
We're children. But would you rather do one guy 10 times or 10 guys one time? One guy 10 times from the lady?
Yeah, same. Yeah, you figured it out.
Yeah, but then you're kind of in a relationship at that
That's
point.
the thing. Yeah.
You're like, I know what Steve likes. Like,
yeah.
I'm single, you know. Steve.
Steve, you had a long day, babe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but boy, this is going to be really. Yeah, I guess the play with 10 guys is. I was going to say,
Jake likes variety.
well, maybe you get lucky and you're like a little more into a couple of them than the others. Like, I'm assuming that if you do the one guy, he's like a 5, right? And so for variation, I'm imagining I can roll my dice and maybe get anywhere from a 1 to a 10 that other time.
Yeah, get a couple hot dudes.
Yeah, so maybe
Got to ramp up your enthusiasm.
maybe it's easier for me if it's like McConaughey. I don't know.
Huh?
But then Jerry walks in.
Oh, that's a good question. If I
Oh,
go
but
10,
then you get a 1.
you get a 1, and if
Ugh.
you go 10, you could get an uncleaned sheath. That's tough.
Did you guys do skin to skin when you were watching?
It's the ultimate.
Yeah, you could get Jared Leto, or you could get Borat's manager,
Yeah.
who, by the way, is in The Shield.
Oh, is it?
Is he?
Oh, yeah. He's part of
Okay.
the Armenian money train early on.
Wow. We've got some TV talk
Oh,
later.
my God, so much.
Rescue Me?
I've seen the first few, and they're like 11 seasons or something.
It's so long.
I've seen a lot of the show, but not all of it.
You were really into that.
I was in it
Probably
until
because it was in Boston.
Well, there's that. It was cool, and I don't know. I thought it was a great idea, and it was really entertaining for about 2.5 seasons, and then it just got sidetracked. They clearly ran out of ideas and were kind of making it up about a month before they started filming.
I am impressed by my wife's latent pregnancy. We started watching Gilmore Girls on Netflix.
Oh, my God. They can mow it down.
It's the same show the entire 7 seasons. And there are hour or 45-minute episodes.
What, like 22 seasons? Yeah.
times 7.
Mhm.
There's hundreds of hours of the same story taking place.
So let me guess. The daughter is having trouble, maybe at school or something. The mom has to come in and help her, and then they figure it out together, and then the episode ends?
They're all dating.
Oh.
There's 3 guys that rotate through the 7 years.
Because I do what Jake does. I'll walk in the room
End
and I'll
of
see it
list.
on, and I just kind of want to watch for just a few minutes to get
Yeah.
the feel of it. And it feels, you're right, it's the same thing every single time.
Yeah.
How are they going to get through this?
They always do.
And they always do.
They always do.
Yeah, I think it was maternity leave. She plowed through that thing easy. That and Gossip Girl, which is also
never
several
seen it.
hundred episodes.
Yeah.
If I'm correct. Yeah, it's super, and it's the same thing every episode also.
It was like we watch it like every night, just like one or two, and it just felt like
You would lock in for the whole episode? That's a good husband right
Hey,
there.
yeah. Oh, there's some phone games getting played every now and then.
Yeah.
Some towers are getting defended. It's fine.
Hell yeah.
But I feel like just fast forward a few weeks, and I was like, are we still in season 1?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've been watching this my entire life. This is only Gilmore Girls.
Is she defending it, saying, no, you just don't get it. There's nuance.
I think she understands that she's just like, this is kind of how it is.
Yeah, no, my wife was the same way because she would just be like, yeah, it's dumb. I got to watch it.
Is it a nostalgia thing, going back and watching
Yes.
that stuff, or when they were
That's a
young?
big part of it,
Yeah.
yeah. And then they made the new version, and she was like, not as good.
Ooh.
I'm like,
I'm like
you're a
looking
connoisseur now?
I'm like looking forward to it. It's going to take us 4 years to chop through 7 seasons of this.
What are you going to do for 6 weeks?
Just lovingly take care of a child and support my beautiful wife.
It's a good answer.
Do some shows and
September 1st, Fort Worth.
no, it's been fun, man. We've been enjoying it so far. We're in our 30s, so like we've heard the stories,
Right.
and you're like, it's a baby. It doesn't sleep good.
Yep.
That's fine. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get mad at the guy for being confused by the world. So we haven't had like a big blow up or anything yet, but had a couple bad nights.
The weirdest thing I remember about it is how little I remember about it. I wrote a lot of stuff down. I did a bunch of voice memos, but you're just so in the freaking weeds.
Yeah.
And if you're not up at the same time every day and you're just memory just, I don't know. I remember being pretty just overwhelmed in the moment of, I need to try to remember some of this, and it still failed.
Was it because of the sleep deprivation, right?
And there's just so much going on that's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's all new.
Yeah, and it's just, it's hard to remember for me.
I'm kind of a night owl too, so it works nice. Or like she'll go to bed early and I got it covered till 1 or 2. Obviously, you got to wake her up for feedings and things, but
Mm-hmm.
and then she'll handle the kind of the shitty hours, 2 to 5.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll circle back, and then around 8 a.m. I'll take them out on a walk or to the house, and she'll get a couple hours of sleep, and it works out. I don't
Are
know.
you the type that, like, will you write around the parenting experience? Will you use it? Or will you just completely leave your family, like, out of that entirely?
I think I will definitely write about it. I think once they're like have personalities and are like little people,
Then you stop?
then you not stop, but you or maybe like you backlog it because it's like they're a person, they didn't sign up to be on things and
Yeah.
posted about. It's like respecting their privacy.
We've heard
in a
that
way.
a few times.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I just bringing our wives into things like, hey, that's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was private.
Dan's wife doesn't listen at all because she did very briefly when he first got here. And I probably have some of the details about this wrong, but some things that he said got her kicked out of her book club.
That he said.
Yeah, that like they heard on the air and then told her about
that's hilarious.
that she didn't hear at the time, but then she was like, I guess from that point they just had like a thing of I just don't listen to your show.
Yeah. My wife has this lady Janice in her book club. What a C word. Am I right?
Everyone else in the group
Yeah.
hates her.
They all talk shit behind her back. Janice
Don't hurt me.